So let's talk about that. Randy, I know you want to start off, so what you got?
All right.
Mine is dumbass knock knock jokes.
Yeah.
That was
So
clever.
I think this is actually a really important thing that everybody should have at least a little bit of a fundamental understanding of, because when it really comes down to it, you do kind of base all of your decision making off of, whether you are intrinsically versus we said we were going to trip over these words.
Oh, we did.
Extrinsically motivated. So I think to start, it's important to understand the differences between the two. So if you are intrinsically motivated, that means that you are more motivated to do things for yourself and not so much for other people. You are kind of more, you see the world in a different way, I guess, where it's more, you want to do things for you, not because other people tell you to do them. And you're like, people like that don't conform. And this is all I read a lot of this from different studies. I actually have looked into this a lot. When I was in 8th grade, I was in an enrichment program, and this was something they made us do on the first day. They gave us a test to see whether we were more intrinsically or extrinsically motivated. So it's kind of like people who are extrinsically motivated are motivated more by what outsiders think, or what other people or what society tells them or thinks that they should do. However, that being said, so those people typically kind of can be more stable in life, but they also have a harder time finding what makes them happy. Whereas people who are intrinsically motivated kind of do things more for themselves and have a easier time finding happiness. However, they have a harder time kind of conforming to societal norms and making friends and establishing relationships. So there are pros and cons to both. And just because you are more of one does not mean you're completely one. I can cite kind of different examples even just between our group of where, somebody might be more intrinsically inclined. However, they have traits of someone who is extrinsically inclined. So it's not totally cut and dry. You're not necessarily exactly one or exactly the other one. But I think it is important to know which one you are more of, because it's going to help you as far as decision making as you move forward in life.
Oh, yeah. I guess you could draw similarities between introverts and extroverts. And
yeah, I was actually going to bring that up later on. Yeah. So that's a great point. And again, I think I would say just based on what I read and what I watched, people who are intrinsically motivated are more introverts, which would make sense. And then extrinsically are more extroverts. So, and again, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're only those things, and that also doesn't mean that you can't change those things either. You can change those qualities about you once you understand them. But I think deep down, in your core beliefs, that you are kind of more one or the other.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. And Randy mentioned that it's really important for people to understand, or at least look into what they could possibly be. But I think it's also important for other people to try and understand what if they're intrinsically or extrinsically motivated, such as leaders. Say for in the Air Force we get awards. What if no one's extrinsically motivated in that unit?
That happens all the time.
Yeah,
a good idea.
It's I get an award. It's I don't care.
Yeah, it also comes with empathy. Sort of, you can kind of tie it in to why isn't this person how do I relate to them? Yeah. How are they motivated? Oh, it's not award doesn't mean anything to them.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of I'm kind of both. Randy said you could be a little bit of both. That's me, because
I was going to use you as an example.
Good. Well, yeah. You can tell me if you agree or disagree with what I say. I want your viewpoint. Yeah. But at work, I'm definitely extrinsically motivated. It's I can get this award because I think it'd be cool to I just have this vision in my head of me down the road with kids and when I'm dead and gone, all these awards, people see what I've done. That's how I think. I think that's pretty cool to have a wall full of shit of my military career. I think that's pretty cool. Some people probably watching this. Or,
can I stop you right there?
Idiot. Yeah, go ahead.
So that actually, I know it kind of sounds like it's the opposite, but that actually is more of intrinsic motivation.
Right.
Because that is stuff that you want for you. That's what you want, and you want people to see. So extrinsically motivated is people are telling you to do something. You have to be told to do something.
And
So like basically they say that a lot of people who like really conform to all the norms of society, so like you go to school, you do well in school, you go to college, like a lot of those people are typically extrinsically motivated because typically speaking from a society standpoint, that's what's normal, that's what you're supposed to do.
So a person
So
that's
actually-
like extrinsically motivated is relying on other people to tell them, like by an award or just word of
Right.
mouth, saying, "Oh, hey, you're doing a good job." People are looking for that,
Right.
like extrinsically
100%.
motivated people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Extrinsically
you're saying-
motivated people are looking for rewards from others. Like you want those rewards to show off for yourself. Not, I don't
Yeah.
mean show off like that sounds shitty, but like
No,
you want those awards for you so that like you can look back or others can look back on you and say, hey, he had all these awards. People who are extrinsically motivated want the pat on the back and be like, you know, hey, good job. Here's your reward. Here's your gift. Here's this.
Well,
You're doing it
let
for
me
you.
ask
They're
you.
doing it for them.
Let me ask you, because so Chris thought it was extrinsic because he wants to get the like awards from work or whatever, and then you say it's intrinsic because he's doing it for himself because he wants it, so he can like look up, like so he can look good to himself, but he wants to do it for like his family. So it's from the I still think it's extrinsic because he wants it so his family in the future can look onto him and have appreciation for what he's done. So like, yes, it's for him, but like it's because he wants the reaction from those other people from his family in the future.
That is true. I mean, it's
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 like-
not
it's
completely
both.
subjective.
Yeah.
But
a little bit of both. Little
I
little
think it is
a
catch
little bit of
22,
both.
wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
I think if he was saying that he was doing it from a more like I think it's more intrinsic because that's what he wants, is he wants his family to be able to look back on it, like he wants to do it for them. So I guess in a way that can be considered extrinsic, but I think for me personally, extrinsic would be more like the military wants Chris to get these awards. So Chris
This is
thinks
like a
he
battle
should
of
do
wits.
it
Like this
because
is good. You're
the
every time
military
you guys
wants
both
him to get
talk,
them.
like I was like, Randy's right, and then Talon's right. Oh, Randy's right.
They're both
This is good. This
I don't
is
think
good.
either of us are wrong.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna like, this is what I think of whenever I think of the definition, like trying to.
Thanks for watching. If you liked this clip and want to see more, click the link below or head over to our channel, like, subscribe, and make sure to hit that bell icon so you can stay up to date on the most current lessons learned content. See ya!